Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how sometimes you're feeling all blah and you just say, I'm sad?
Mhm.
Well, today we're gonna ditch sad and get way more specific with our feelings.
Ooh, I like this. Like instead of just saying sunset, you'd use words like crimson or golden hour.
Exactly.
Oh.
So get ready for a deep dive into all sorts of new ways to say you're bummed out. Like the first one is, I'm feeling drained today. Just completely zapped.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like that feeling when you've just given it your all and you have nothing left, like zero energy left.
And it's not just physical, right? Like you can be emotionally drained too.
Absolutely. It's like your emotions have just completely depleted your battery.
So what can we DO about it when we feel this way?
Well, the first thing is just recognizing it. Like, okay, I'm feeling drained. Just acknowledging it can be helpful. And then think about what usually refills your tank.
Ooh, like what gives you energy?
Right. Is it a good night's sleep, a walk outside, maybe talking to a friend?
Love that. So figure out what your personal energy booster is. Okay, what about this one? I'm carrying a heavy heart.
Oh, that one is deep.
Right. It sounds like you're actually carrying around a weight.
Yeah, and it's interesting how our emotions really can manifest physically. Like
Yeah.
when you're sad, you might slouch or, take short breath.
So true. Like your body is mirroring your heavy heart. So what can we do to lighten that load?
Hmm. Well, sometimes just noticing those physical sensations can help. Like try taking some really deep breaths,
Mhm.
really feeling your chest expand.
Ah, that sounds relaxing already.
Right. And it can help release some of that tension. Or even some gentle movement, like a short walk.
Okay, so deep breaths, gentle movement. Got it. Okay, next up, I'm lost for words. I feel like sometimes sadness is just so big you can't even explain it.
Absolutely. Sometimes words just don't do it justice.
Yeah. But then what do you do when someone asks what's wrong?
Well, I think it's okay to just say, I don't know how to explain it right now, but I'm not okay.
I like that. Just being honest.
And, sometimes a hug or just a knowing look can say more than words ever could.
True. Okay, this next one, I think a lot of people can relate to. I'm stuck in a funk.
Ugh,
It's the worst.
I know, right? Like you're just blah and nothing sounds fun.
It's like you're in this low energy fog. So how do we break free from that?
Well, I think it's important to remember that even small actions can help. Even if it's just doing the dishes or taking a quick shower.
Oh yeah, little steps.
Exactly. Just to get some momentum going, think of it like jump-starting a car.
I love that analogy. Okay, on to the next phrase. I'm struggling to find my footing. What do you think of this one?
It's like everything feels shaky and uncertain, like you're walking on, uneven ground.
Yeah. So what's the thing to try here? Do we need to grab onto something for support?
I think it's about finding those things that ground you and give you a sense of stability. Maybe it's a hobby you love or a routine that makes you feel secure.
It's like finding your anchor in the storm. Ooh, I like that.
Right. Just something to help you feel more steady and centered.
This next one really paints a picture. I'm feeling like a storm cloud is following me.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Like no matter where you go, the gloom just comes with you.
Right. But are WE the storm cloud?
That's a great question. And I think the answer is no. You're more like the sky. And the sky can hold both storm clouds and sunshine.
So it's like, even though the storm cloud might be there right now, it doesn't have to define the whole sky.
Exactly. And just like real storms, those feelings will eventually pass.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better already. So while that storm cloud IS hanging around, what can we do to feel a little bit brighter?
Well, what are some things that usually cheer you up?
Ooh, good question. Maybe like listening to upbeat music or watching a funny movie.
Yeah, those are great. It's about finding those little things that can bring some sunshine into your day, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Okay, I like that. Little pockets of sunshine. Okay, on to I'm swimming against the tide. This one feels so, I don't know, effortful.
Yeah, it's like you're putting in so much effort, but you're not really getting anywhere.
Right, like you're constantly fighting against the current. So how do we not get swept away?
I think it's about breaking things down into smaller steps. Instead of trying to swim the whole ocean, just focus on the next stroke.
Okay, so smaller goals. What about I'm feeling the weight of my emotions? Sometimes it really does feel like that, like you're physically carrying a burden.
It does, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
like your emotions have this heaviness to them.
So how do we deal with that emotional weightlifting?
Well, first, remember that everyone feels this way sometimes. You're not alone. And then think about what helps you process your emotions. Maybe it's journaling or talking to someone you trust.
Ooh, or maybe even just having a good cry.
Exactly. Sometimes
Yeah.
you just need to let it all out. Okay, this next one feels a bit more hopeful. I'm searching for a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, there's like a little light at the end of the tunnel with this one.
Right. It's like acknowledging the sadness, but also recognizing that things can get better.
But what if you can't even see that glimmer yet? Like, what if you're just surrounded by darkness?
I think it's about focusing on the small things that bring you joy. Even if it's just a warm cup of tea or a beautiful sunset.
Ooh, those are good ones. And then maybe those small things can lead to bigger things.
Exactly. It's about nurturing those little sparks of hope. Okay, last one. I'm riding the waves of my emotions. This one feels very, I don't know, surfer dude.
Right? Like you're on a surfboard just riding those emotional waves.
And it's a good reminder that emotions come and go, just like waves.
So instead of getting wiped out by them, we're learning to surf.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do that?
I think mindfulness can be really helpful here. Like, instead of judging your emotions, just notice them. Pay attention to how they feel in your body.
Ooh, that's interesting. So we're not trying to control the waves, we're just trying to observe them.
Exactly. And that can actually help us feel more in control. So we've talked about all these cool new phrases, but why is it so important to have a bigger emotional vocabulary anyway?
Yeah, like why should we care about all these different ways to say we're sad?
Well, it's not just about having more words to use, it's about understanding ourselves better. When we can be more specific with our emotions, we can communicate them more effectively both to ourselves and to others.
Sounds like having more tools in your toolbox, right?
Exactly. The more tools you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes your way.
Okay, so we've learned all these new ways to express sadness and even some things to try when we're feeling down. What's like the main takeaway here?
Hmm. I think the main takeaway is this: next time you're feeling blue, don't just settle for "I'm sad." Really try to pinpoint what you're feeling.
So be more specific, like I'm feeling drained or I'm carrying a heavy heart.
Right. And then you can start to figure out what will actually help you feel better.
Yeah, it's like we're not just naming the feeling, but really understanding it?
Right. And I think that understanding can be really powerful because then you can start to figure out what you need.
It's like, okay, I'm not just sad. I'm actually feeling super drained. So maybe I need to like take a break and rest.
Exactly. Or if you're feeling that heavy heart, maybe you need to talk to someone or do something to process those emotions.
Ooh, that's a good point. It's like
Yeah.
once you know what you're actually feeling, you can figure out what will actually help.
And it's important to remember that it's a process, right? Like, it takes time to learn how to identify and manage your emotions.
Yeah, and it's okay to not always get it right. Like sometimes you might just feel sad, and that's totally fine.
Totally. It's all about progress, not perfection.
Love that. So to wrap things up, we've learned a bunch of new ways to express sadness.
Oh.
And we've even gotten some ideas for things to try when those feelings hit.
And remember, it's all about finding what works for you. What helps one person might not help another. So experiment. Try different things and see what helps you feel better.
And don't be afraid to reach out for support if you need it. There are so many people out there who care and want to help.
Absolutely. You are not alone.
Well, that's it for this deep dive, everyone. I hope you learned something new and feel a little more equipped to handle those blue days.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and keep exploring those emotional landscapes.